Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. The internet is a very interesting place in that over the course of the last decade and some change, we've had a lot of people who have said very negative things about cryptocurrencies and about Bitcoin. There's one person in particular who even comes to mind right now, but I think he's in a weird class all of his own. Over the course of this decade or so, we've had people like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, the guy who runs JP Morgan, James Jonah Jameson, whatever this guy's actual name is. And a lot of these people end up becoming quite popular for a number of reasons, not that you would actually think. It's because usually, no, they do. These people end up saying something negative about Bitcoin. And it's usually along the lines of Bitcoin's going to zero, Bitcoin's going nowhere, Bitcoin is so and so and so, it's rat poison squared, like Warren Buffett said, which I thought was really special because normal people don't talk like that. I've never heard anyone say that anything was rat poison squared. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So we've had a lot of websites that actually collect this data of people who have said negative things about Bitcoin and or the cryptocurrency space. One of them in particular is actually quite popular. His name is, where is it? Nick Allen, Nickallen. He is famous because it's now, we just briefly went past the anniversary of it, of stating online that Bitcoin was not only absolute garbage, but was a bubble. The interesting part about all of that is, he mentioned this back in 2011 and is famous for saying, and I quote, that Bitcoin was down to $2.70 a pop. He went on to say, I'm so glad I didn't buy into that mess years ago. One of the really interesting stories that actually also got me into the cryptocurrency space was like the idea of the rhythm of the market and like the 4-year swings that we have up and down. And there were a lot of stories people were telling me that like you would see Bitcoin was at $1. It goes up to $12. It falls back down to $2 and everyone's like, oh boy, like, the bubble has popped. It goes from $2 up to like 200. Falls down from 200, falls to like 45, and people were like, oh boy, the bubble has popped. It goes from 45 to 500, from 500 to 1,200, and everyone's like, whoa. Falls back down to like 80 or whatever happened, and everyone's like, oh boy, glad the bubble actually popped. And it's been happening for a very long time. And there's the really important part, without me having to ramble on, because there are currently people who exist outside of the cryptocurrency market who I don't know if they're trying to get fame or whatever the actual case might be, but they've been proven wrong so many times that it's actually like lightly embarrassing for them. As far as them constantly talking about the demise of the cryptocurrency space, the fall of Bitcoin's price, how it's never going to recover. We just had that a couple of days ago. There was someone on the other channel, The Modern Investor. There was some analyst who mentioned that they were certain that Bitcoin was going back down to $12,000. There's another guy who's really popular gold bug. He believes in gold more than Bitcoin. Not working out too well for him. He states, I think once a month, that Bitcoin is going down to zero. And I'm like, you can't keep saying these weird things and just assume that, no one's actually listening. Since the time that that person, Nick Allen, wrote that $2 Bitcoin was way too high, he's so glad that the bubble popped and he didn't buy any of that. Since then, Bitcoin is up by 1.6 million %. Think about that. We are currently in a world where a lot of people, first part is that we're in a world where a lot of people are anticipating in the future, very near future, $250,000 to $500,000 Bitcoin and the $1 million Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I wonder how many of these people actually either believe their own nonsense and or I honestly don't know what else to say. Like you must stick to your conviction of constantly telling people that Bitcoin is garbage when you know the exact opposite, and especially how much money that these people could have made. But they continue to go in these tirades on Twitter telling people that gold is going to be it. Yep. Up 1.6 million %. I am certain we are going to be having this same exact conversation in 10 more years when Bitcoin's even higher in price, and these same exact people are still talking about that Bitcoin was too expensive at $2 and they're glad that they didn't get into it. If I only had a time machine. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.